I'm sitting in a 2024 Nissan Sentra SV with a few options here. Now this is the pre-production model, but it does look really nice. It has a few options here, and it has the total price of $26,000, which was kind of surprising. When I got in this vehicle, look at these seats. They have the diamond quilting and everything. But yeah, very impressive. But yeah, I got in this vehicle and I started driving it. It's so smooth and comfortable, and you just have that kind of classic driving experience. And it's good on gas, getting 38 miles per gallon, something like that. Let's see what we got here. 36 right now because I'm doing a lot of idling, but I've been getting around 38 miles per gallon. It drives good. It has plenty of power and fairly smooth suspension system, and really enjoyable to drive. Even though it has a CVT transmission, it doesn't really have that, you know, annoying sounds and anything. It's kind of like, it kind of simulates gear shifts. What I'm not really a fan of that, but it does a good job. The transmission, the engine, the overall usability of the vehicle, the comfort. It has the leather wrap steering wheel, heated seats here in the front. It has connectivity. It is in a very impressive vehicle for the price. And this is a little bit of upgrades, like I said, but it's $26,000. You have a little bit of a screen there, but one of the best things about this vehicle is that you have a kind of a classic good driving experience. There's no wonky hybrid system. There's no weirdness to it. It does have the start stop feature, which I can disable that. So that's something that you know, kind of more classic vehicles wouldn't have, but you just kind of have that normal driving experience that a lot of new cars they're kind of interjecting all this technology that is, you know, just kind of making the driving experience weird. More basic screen. It's not like it's super advanced or anything, but it does have basic functionality, and it looks fine. It has a great camera system. It has the top-down view. Right now it's showing the front view. When we put it in reverse, it'll show the back view. So it has that 360 surround view type camera. That's very handy, and being able to just press a button and display it anytime you want is good. And I like the way they kind of have this kind of fake carbon fiber. It kind of looks pretty cool though. And you see that there and here on the doors as well. And the comfort of the seats, that's another thing. With Nissan, this seat is very comfortable. Not only does it look good with that quilting and everything, but it is very comfortable. I had some issues with Honda and Toyota and Lexus and different vehicles. I just get it, and especially Mazda for me, get in the vehicle and it's like, man, what are they thinking of the seat? But in this, especially the, you know, kind of cheaper cars sometimes, this car is like, wow, I got in, I was comfortable, I was able to drive it fine, smooth, fast enough for me anyway. Gets great gas mileage. The price is right. You know, it's got the blind spot detection system, lane departure warning system, adaptive cruise control, really nice camera system, automatic climate control. I mean, and this has the upgraded sound system, which sounds pretty good as well. They made some subtle changes here in the front for the 2024 model, and it looks good. It looks really nice. It does have just regular halogen headlights, but they're not too bad. Of course, you can upgrade those to LED bulbs or whatever if you want. It has the new badging here, relatively new badging. These alloy wheels are part of the upgrade package, but they look really nice. The gloss black there with the alloy popping through. Even has the parking sensors back here. Pretty neat styling. A little bit of honeycomb, kind of sporty look here in the back. Now the cargo area is quite substantial. A lot of space. I got some junk in here, but it does have a spare tire as well. But really big cargo area, and you can actually lower those seats down in 60-40 split, add to your cargo space. Almost everything is carpeted except for under here, which even high-end vehicles a lot of times, you know, miss out on this. But yeah, this is very functional cargo area, and it's not really like a tiny car or anything. It's you know, it's more on the smaller side, but it's a good size to kind of zip around town. You can carry your family in it, you can get groceries and all that stuff without being too like a huge lumbering vehicle. So a lot of pluses here And with that price range, it is it is even better. And this one does have the sunroof as well. So I have that front seat all the way back, as far as it goes. And you still have some legroom back here in the back. Cup holders with the armrest there. There is one USB port, so we have to kind of fight over that. There's a mat pocket on that side. And the car seat attachments, they're easy to get to, right in that crease there. Power seat here on the driver's side with the lumbar adjustment. Passenger seat is manual. But yeah, these seats are very comfortable, especially compared to a lot of other vehicles on the market now. It's like, I don't know, they have some issues there with some of the seats. But yeah, the styling, the functionality is pretty much user-friendly. The new key is pretty nice. It's less flimsy feeling than the previous years, and it looks nice. It has remote start, panic button. You can open up the trunk, lock, unlock, physical key on the inside as well. But yeah, overall this is a really good key. It's a little bit bigger than the older ones, but I prefer it a little bit better. It's not very heavy, and it's basically the traditional push the button to lock, push the button to unlock. So it doesn't have the sensor here. It's just this button. You press it, for both functions. So you have to make sure that the vehicle's locked. Then there's a visible key location here on the driver's side. Above the mirror, there is a place to put some sunglasses here. You have interior lights, all lights, have them turn on with the door, sunroof control here. The visor is a vinyl type material. It matches in color, the headliner, but it is a vinyl material that's easier to clean when you're touching it all the time. A little clip there, mirror with no light. Sunroof does have a shade, and it goes back and it tilts and all that stuff. So looking at the visibility in the back, basically overall the visibility is good. The pillar in the back is kind of wide, but it doesn't really cause a problem much. I'm able to see out the back, the sides, the front. You see there as well, this pillar. Not a big deal. It has the blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, parking sensors, really good 360 camera system. So yeah, a lot of technology as well to help you drive the vehicle safely. So starting it up, I go ahead and turn off the stops. Actually, I'll leave it on so you can see how it works, the stop start feature. So it has the normal, menu selection here on the center screen, which with the digital speedometer, fuel economy, trip. You should see what your radio is doing, the safety features, and then you have your settings here. So nothing's really changed too much there. As far as over the years, Nissan's been basically the same as far as that goes. So yeah, this does have the sport mode, which you can select here, and it also has the low range. Now the low range is very low, so if you really need to slow down using the engine braking, if you're going down a steep hill or something, using the low range is very substantial. You can probably, on like a normal downslope, just put it in sport mode, and that'll give you enough engine braking. But just the regular drive mode is just fantastic. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't feel like it's... Sometimes it has low RPMs, depending on how fast you want to drive and everything. But it's doing that to save fuel. But if you hit the accelerator, it takes off pretty good. And zipping around in parking lots is just so easy to drive. Smooth braking and easy steering. So yeah, I'm not a real big fan of the simulated gear shifts on the CVT, but it's not a big deal. It does accelerate fine. I didn't floor it or anything, but just kind of accelerated a little bit. In this type of vehicle, you're going to hear a little bit of wind noise, a little bit of road noise. It's not like overly loud or anything, but it is not quiet vehicle in this, in that sense. So as far as driving it, you know, it's kind of small vehicle, but you know, I'm fine with it as far as being comfort. You know, the comfort of it, it's fairly easy getting in and out of it. You know, there's a couple positions in which it's not as comfortable, but so like sometimes I like to drive like this, and it has like this hump in the floor, which is not all that great. But you know, it's not a big deal. A lot of the noise that comes from the engine, it's not really so much the engine, it's the exhaust that it sounds like. Sounds like you're hearing the, you know, the air going into the exhaust and a little bit of noise from that. It's not overly loud. It's not like Toyotas and Lexus where they had like this massive amount of engine noise. You can hear the engine, but it's not really a big deal. The suspension is just surprisingly good for a vehicle this size and everything. I'm very impressed. Another vehicle that I've gotten in and it felt really, there's a couple ones, but you know, off the top of my head, there was the Subaru Ascent. Got in that, and it just had a really nice suspension system. Also, this is kind of off topic, the Ford Maverick truck. That was like really impressive getting in. Kind of small vehicle, but it just had a nice ride to it. It has the lane departure system where it like vibrates the steering wheel. So if you hear like a vibrating sound, it's because I'm going over the line or going close to the line. And the cruise control has the adaptive cruise control and all that stuff, and it keeps you at a fairly decent distance. It only has 3 distance selections, which is, you know, it's okay, but you're gonna get used to it. But you know, like a lot of vehicles, it has the ability to increase the speed incrementally by 1 mile per hour. But if you press and hold it, you can go up 5 miles per hour at a time. So if you're driving along and you put it in low range, you can see it gets like 4,000 RPMs. It's a huge difference there as far as engine braking. But if you put it in sport mode, it brings it up to about a little bit over 2,000, depending on what you're driving or how fast you're driving and everything. But it brings you a little, kind of a more moderate level of engine braking, in addition to, you know, the acceleration and the sportiness of it, basically. You know, gets that engine in that RPM range in which it's easy to accelerate and stuff like that. So the sport mode is really good, but just like I said, normal mode is excellent all around. Okay, so the way this works is that except if you really floor it, it struggles. It'll accelerate, and there's a certain times because it has those fake shifts in which you can have a acceleration, but it's really made for normal driving. But here on the highway, 65 miles per hour, smooth. It's certainly no problem driving on trips and stuff like that. So the idle stop turned the engine off right now, and so when you release the brake, it starts immediately. You'll notice that the blind spot detection system, the little light is right here. So you see that light right here shining. So it's not in the side mirror; it's there on the pillar.